Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and today we're going to be talking about traits of highly desirable women. Now this video is for women that want to learn how to be more desirable, or can be for anyone that wants to know what kind of woman they should look for. A lot of times people make videos about like the highly valuable woman and man, and for some reason I don't know about like the highly valuable, like there's just something about it that it's become kind of toxic. So, or people don't really understand what, you know, high value man or woman means. So I like to just keep it more in the desirable aspect. What makes someone, a man or a woman, more desirable? So I'm gonna do the women this week, and then next week or the week after, I'm gonna do the traits of a highly desirable man. Now, this video is not for anyone that is on the men ain't shit train, or they don't care to appear more desirable to the opposite sex or whoever, you know, they're attracted to. If you don't care about that, then this video is not for you. So before we get into today's video, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Missy. I'm a life and relationship coach, and on this channel we get to the root of the issue and we learn how to heal and deal. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of the fam, and if you already are a subscriber, I really appreciate you so much. Also, if you are interested in any of my coaching services, I will leave it down in the link below, which you can go ahead and check out. Let's get into today's video. So the first trait, not in any type of order, but the first trait that highly desirable women have is confidence. They carry themselves with this confidence, and they don't slouch. They don't speak so low that you can't hear them. You can tell they feel strong and firm in who they are. And so because they feel strong and firm in who they are, they don't seek for validation or for compliments. They don't fish for compliments. They already know these things about them. When other people, you know, say nice things to them, it's the cherry on top. These confident women know what they offer. They know their worth. They know who they are. And because they are secure in themselves, they are less insecure towards other women, or they're not jealous of other women, and they can celebrate other women or other people and their successes. They don't have this hateful attitude towards other people, and they have this very calm, warm energy to them, which that goes into the feminine energy. So desirable women have very gentle energy. They smile more, which I know a lot of women, they hate to hear that, but it's true. Studies have literally shown the more you smile, the more desirable you are. And this is not to say you should smile at everyone and, like, you know, always be approachable, but for men or whoever you're attracted to and you want them to come up to you, smile. Show that you're approachable. You can come off intimidating if you just have resting bitch face and, you know, you don't appear warm. If you smile and you appear warm, you appear approachable, and then people that are attracted to you will want to go and talk to you. So desirable women, they're gentle, they're soft, they embrace that nurturing side, so they're very caring, they're very warm towards other people, and they can laugh and make jokes about things. They're not ultra serious, and they can be lighthearted. Now, also understand with feminine energy, it doesn't mean that you're completely passive and you have no say and you are just supposed to be abused. You can have some masculine energy too. It doesn't mean that you have to be completely submissive to be desirable, but you feel comfortable in yourself and you're able and allowing to a man or whoever you're attracted to that you trust. You'll allow them to lead you, and that's something a lot of us as women, we do, but whether you want to admit this or not, I've talked to tons of people, and a lot of people, they have a hard time admitting this, but we as women, we do want to be led. If you think about it, doesn't it feel just relieving and comforting at the thought of having someone lead you rather than having to make all the decisions on your own, carry the weight of the world on your shoulders? Imagine having a strong, dominant male energy leading you. Sounds good to me, and I know a lot of other women, they like the idea of that. In order to be led, you have to get in touch with that feminine energy and allow someone to lead you. The next thing is having emotional regulation. Now, it's very common that we expect men to regulate their emotions, don't have anger attacks, control themselves. It's always expected that men should emotionally regulate, but oftentimes we as women, we don't think about how we too need to emotionally regulate and be responsible for our own emotions. So highly desirable women, they are not huge complainers. Not to say that you can't complain at all. You know, you don't have to be perfect, but you don't have this need to constantly complain, have a need to constantly vent to everyone. Again, you don't need that constant validation to hear other people tell you that you're right. When you get upset, you can regulate your own emotions and you don't depend on your partner to fix it or make it better. Do our partners do things wrong sometimes and they have to make it up to us? Yes, but you're making them make amends to the action they did rather than forcing them to change your mood or make you feel better. As a desirable woman, you take responsibility for your own emotions, and when you get too upset, you call it out. You're able to notice when your emotions are getting heightened and maybe you're getting to that place where you go from 0 to 100 and you feel out of control. You're able to recognize that and calm yourself back down. Now, that doesn't mean there's not going to be moments when your emotions all over the place, especially these women that have cycles. Like, sometimes it feels a little bit uncontrollable, but as someone that can emotionally regulate, you can see when your emotions are taking over and when you are being unreasonable, or you take some time, you notice your emotions are getting out of hand, and you're able to calm yourself down and come back to it when you are able to be more reasonable. The next thing is self-accountability and self-reflection. So this means owning your own stuff, owning your own flaws, not blaming anyone else, not victimizing yourself like everyone else is doing it to you. Doesn't mean that you're not a victim to things, but you don't always say, you know, everyone else is doing this to me, I have no part in it. You can see your weaknesses and own your mistakes, and you can take that criticism. So when someone gives you constructive criticism, not obviously abusive criticism or hurtful criticism, but when they give you that constructive criticism, you take it into consideration. It doesn't mean that you have to 100% agree with it. You know, you can look at yourself and be like, do I agree with this? Do I feel like this, I need to work on this? Do I think this could benefit me in some sort of way? If you feel like it doesn't, then you let it fly. You don't take that into accountability. If you feel like it's something that could benefit yourself and you feel like it's something you struggle with, then you'll take that criticism into consideration rather than overly defending yourself or making it seem like that person's out to get you. So this means you can see where you're wrong in situations or see ways that you can improve rather than blaming everyone else. That doesn't mean that you can't not see where other people are in the wrong, but you're able to do your part and not just see where everyone else is wrong. There's that balance of seeing where you're wrong, and you can also see where the other person is wrong too. The next thing is a highly desirable woman knows their value. So what this means is, as a desirable woman, you don't beg or plead for other people to love you or be with you, or you don't chase others that show you they don't value you or care about you. The minute that someone shows disrespect to you, you stand up for yourself, or you will call others out on their bad behavior. So you will love yourself entirely and put your best foot forward. That doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, but you often try to put your best foot forward. And part of putting your best foot forward and valuing yourself is that you're not afraid, or you will hold other people accountable to their bad behavior. So when people you love or your partner is in the wrong, you call them out and you don't allow them to get away with that bad behavior. So when they do negative things or they do something to hurt themselves, you call it out and you say, hey, listen, you are doing something that is hurting you and it could hurt me, and that's not okay. We can't be doing that. When they are doing something that is hurting you, mistreating you, doing something that disrespects you, or they do something that is hurting them, you call them out and you say, hey, listen, you're doing something that is messed up and it's hurting you, or you're doing something that's hurting me, and that's not okay. When you value yourself, you don't put up with bad behavior or mistreatment. If you do put up with it and you make excuses for them and you allow it to happen, then they will continue to disrespect you, or they will think it's okay to continue to do what they're doing, and then they will not value you. So if you don't value yourself, then you're teaching people to not value you either, and not calling them out on this mistreatment or bad behavior. And you're not doing this in a patronizing or emasculating way. You're more so doing it in a way of checking them and being like, hey, check yourself, you know, what you're doing, the behavior you're doing is not okay, or that's not cool to be talking like that or doing those things. The next trait of a highly desirable woman is they aren't big gossipers or into drama or get sucked into drama. Highly desirable women spend time on things that serve them. They are not in the middle of drama. They don't go and gossip to everybody. Only a select trusted few know their stuff. And they don't always have a need to talk about everyone or complain all the time. They are not always trying to stir the pot. They're more so on the outside with their popcorn, because I mean, it's not a matter of not kind of being in the gossip and the chaos, because who doesn't love a little gossip and a little tea and a little drama? We all do to some degree. So it's not about like putting your nose in the air and acting like you're better than that. It's more so you're on the outside with your popcorn, not being invested in it, not getting involved in it, and just being like, okay, I see what's going on, but I have no part in it. It's putting a wall up between you and, you know, the drama and the gossip that's all happening. And they don't force themselves in the middle to try to find out everyone's business. They're here to listen, but they don't thrive off of it. The next trait is they don't lose themselves in their partner. It's negative to say that you don't need anyone and you don't need a partner, because we are social creatures. We have evolved to want to mate. So it's not a matter, so you don't want to pretend like you never want to be with someone, but you also don't want to feel like you need someone in order to survive. And so highly desirable women go about not needing their partner, but wanting them, knowing the value they add to their life. So they value them, but they don't give up everything of themselves to keep their partner or to have this partner. They still have boundaries and hobbies and their own interests going on. They still have their own group of friends where they go out and do their own thing. They don't need their partner to feel valued, secure, or validated. Their partner is that extra cherry on top. So whether they have this partner or not, they still continue to take care of themselves. They don't just do things for their partner to keep their partner, but they do it for themselves. The next trait is showing vulnerability, expressing vulnerability. So that means showing compassion, asking for help, accepting help, which that's a big one. And what's really important with accepting help, especially from their a male partner, is men connect with women through a hormone called vasopressin. So women, they connect more with oxytocin, which is a bonding chemical, that's a bonding hormone that's especially released after sex and intimacy, but males bond more through vasopressin. And what vasopressin is, it's when there's problem solving involved. So anytime that a man feels like he's problem solving with someone, that could be male or female, when they feel like they're problem solving with someone, or they're solving a problem with their partner, then they're more connected to that partner and they want to continue to mate with that partner and be with that partner. So if you disconnect, or you don't accept help, or you don't allow your partner to help you, then you're lessening the connection you have with that male. So it's really important that you don't have that I'm an independent, I don't need no man mentality, because you're disconnecting from your male and that vulnerability. And also, oftentimes women, they think in order to be with a partner, they have to be independent. So they always talk about having their degrees, or they own their own home, and they're thinking that, you know, that makes them a very desirable woman, when in reality men want a woman that's going to add to their life, not because they have traits that they already have. Men have degrees, they have all those things, so they don't want someone that already has things they have. They want someone that has things that they don't have that can add. So what that is that vulnerability, because men struggle with that vulnerability. So they want someone that will express when they're having a hard time, or when they'll share those good moments with them. They share the highs and the lows. A highly desirable woman wants to show that love and express that love to their partners and to others, and they show them that they appreciate them. They appreciate and value their partners, which is a huge thing that a lot of men feel like is missing. They don't feel like they are appreciated. So how a man feels appreciated is through a woman's words and actions. A woman that values their man's help, or shows them the appreciation for their help. So that means validating their man or showing they agree when they do agree with their partner. And like I said, you solve problems together so that vasopressin gets released and the connection grows stronger. Vulnerability is something that is missing in a lot of people's relationships. There's so many men and women that are not vulnerable in their relationships, and that's why it's such a desirable trait, is when you are vulnerable, share your true authentic self, share the raw vulnerable side and parts of you. The next thing is communicate. Highly desirable women don't play games. They are not passive aggressive. They talk out their issues and they look for resolutions, or they look for ways to solve the problem. They express when something is bothering them through their feelings, and that means using I statements. I feel upset when X, Y, and Z. I feel hurt. I feel sad. Expressing those emotions rather than saying, you do this and you piss me off, and saying it in a way that puts their partner on the defense. So they don't turn it into a bicker fest or where they're nagging their partner, because that's when their partner will tune them out. So you want to use those I statements. Then after you express how you feel, you want to tell them what you like and what you want to change. So say, I like when you help me out around the house, or I like when you take me out on dates. And highly desirable women will give positive reinforcement when their partner does do those things. So they say, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. And they will do this anytime their partner does something that they like. So that way it reinforces that behavior, so their partner is more likely to want to do those things. And it may take a little while for that partner to get the hang of it, but the highly desirable woman will be patient and will wait for it to happen. Oftentimes as women, we'll get into the habit of saying, I'm fine, or we expect our partner to read our mind, or we want them to just know things. But the only way someone will know something is if we tell them, or we often assume of like, I know that they already know this, or I've told them 1,000 times. People don't entirely know until you express it. So even when you don't think communication is the answer, communicate, express yourself. And then what goes hand in hand with communication is being a good listener. I would say listening is the most challenging for all of us humans, because we'll often get in the habit of thinking about what we want to say next, or we get hooked onto what someone's saying and we want to immediately defend ourselves, and we don't listen to what the other person's saying. And so then all the words get mixed up and we assume, and then we misunderstand what the person was saying. So what listening means is validating your partner, letting your partner feel heard, and making it a safe space so they feel like they can express themselves. So that safe place means not emasculating them, not making them feel bad, not turning it around and making it about you and your own feelings. Because that happens a lot with all of us people, where when someone's expressing their emotions, we may make it about ourselves and say, hey, that hurt my feelings when you said this. We have to just listen sometimes. We have to take the hit sometimes to hear what someone else is saying, so that way they can feel heard and they can feel understood, just like we want to be understood. So you want to make it a safe place where they know that they can be vulnerable and it's okay. A lot of times men feel like they have to suppress their emotions and they shouldn't have emotions, or instead of learning how to regulate their emotions, they just lash out with anger. So in order for them to not lash out on the anger, as a desirable woman, you want to make it a place where they know that they're not going to be emasculated or made fun of, or they're not going to be betrayed, or they're not going to be exposed if they share something very vulnerable about themselves. So that means sometimes swallowing your pride and not feeling a need to fix it or give advice or give your input. It's just about listening and really truly validating them, repeating back what they said, or showing them understanding. And the last trait of a highly desirable woman is being your own self with your own opinions and your own passions. So a highly desirable woman doesn't just follow the crowd or follow what everyone else has to say. They have no problem speaking up or sharing what they think. They will speak up, go against the grain. They have a mind of their own, and they have passions. They have their own viewpoints and opinions about things, and they do their own research, and they express themselves. And they're not afraid to express themselves because they feel really comfortable in their own. And they have less of a need to people please. As women, naturally, will always have an urge to please others or make sure everyone else is good. It's in our nurturing nature. But as a highly desirable woman, you have a healthy balance of taking care of others, but also, you know, putting your best foot forward and being like, no, like, this is what I feel like is right at this time, or I disagree with this point of view, or I don't think this is right. So what do you guys think? What makes a highly desirable woman? Leave it all in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. That's a problem if I don't have the internet. Nope, not for you, only for me. And like I said, you solve problems together, so that vasopressin, is it? Oh god, this is a long video.